Much, Mariana. It's really good to see everybody, and it's wonderful to be here. Even though I was quite nervous, I haven't given a presentation of this workshop in almost 6 years. That's a long time. But it's very good to be here, and as they say, if you really want to learn something, teach it. And as I have been preparing for this workshop, I have certainly been taught about what I'm going to talk about, the root link soul awareness. And I originally learned about that in 1979 through 1984, when I began to work with my teacher, Adina DeJoya. And she had a month-long class of transformation. And one of the opportunities we were given was to have this root link experience. And that is having an experiential, not regression or hypnosis, but awakening to what was happening on a soul level at the time my physical body was being created, when the sperm met the egg, right at that point, and before even that point. And that's the whole foundation of soul awareness, because we bring it with us. And not only do we bring it with us, and oftentimes though, because of how we're raised, how our physical forms are created, we're not often in touch with that soul awareness in our day-to-day lives. And having that awareness can produce healing and change and awakenings. And it did for me. It was over a course of time. And the primary for me, so as I had my experience, and my mother and father were having the experience of creating my body, and it was not a pleasant experience of intercourse. There was force, and there was anger, and there was fear, and there was, just a mishmash of lower human consciousness. And also very dominant with that was myself in the formless not wanting to come in, a lot of resistance, a lot of no. And what I saw, and how we did this, just to give you a brief idea, was someone would press on a spot at the solar plexus right next to the navel, near where the umbilical cord was, and press on it enough to produce a pain, but not excruciating, but enough to hold one's awareness in the body, and then ask a series of questions. And naturally, truly, the soul comes forth. And I found myself being given an experience. It was like I was being reeled in like a fish to the top of my head and into oneness with the divine. It was just like, and I was like, no, no. So that was my first awareness. That was before I was anywhere near my mother and father. And then the next thing I knew, I'm propelled towards this woman and man, Marie and Al, who came to be my parents. And I didn't particularly like them. Their energy was not what I wanted, but I was given the understanding that they would produce in my physical form what I needed to evolve that feeling, to convert that, no, I don't want to come in, that resistance. And I was given a lot of light, a lot of grace, as we all are. Everybody has their own individual story, whatever it is. Some souls come in willing. In the course of my work with my teacher, I facilitated maybe 100 or more people in having their root link experience. And so got to experience a wide variety of storylines. But keep it in mind, which is all I really have to talk about from my experience, and that was resistance. And it wasn't until a few years into working with my teacher that I began to really grasp and find the benefit of having that soul awareness. Because once we have that, and I believe, while many years ago we did it pressing on the stomach, I believe it can be done in a more easeful way, and just through a being's willingness and somebody working with you that knows how to kind of guide you through. But it really comes from the person. Anyway, so as I worked with it throughout my life, I had a lot of difficulties, a lot of experience with addiction, with, wild, obstinate, resistant. That was my primary characteristic as a human being growing. And I didn't, once I got the understanding of what I brought here, what I had before the sperm even met the egg. Now, there was also light, because I was given grace, I was healed, it was beautiful. But the whole purpose of coming to Earth, in addition to the joy and wonder that we have here, was to heal this feeling, because the divine is a part of us. That being reeled into was, for me, to enlarge, to expand, to be part of the whole. And I'll share one little thing. When I resisted that, when that happened, I immediately found myself in this very dark place of temptation, of fear, of power, of hate. And it scared me. And I said, oh my God, no, I don't want power. It was like, oh, help. And that's when light came in and healed. And then I was shown these people that would become my parents. And then fast forward 30 years, and I meet my teacher, who was actually present as an invisible spirit when I was coming into the body. So then fast forward a little more, because we're talking about healing through soul awareness. I had a smoking habit and tried everything I could to stop smoking. I had quit smoking once for almost 15 years while I was raising my son. And then for whatever reason, I decided, I was going through something. I wanted to smoke cigarettes. And 4 years later, I'm still trying to stop, and nothing is working. And I have a very strong sense of discipline and a very strong will, in addition to the characteristics that I brought here to heal. I was given tools, a will of the soul, light in that, and a sense of integrity, and different tools to help me maneuver what was going to be a very difficult life for the first 30 years. A lot of drug addiction, a lot of alcohol abuse, a lot of just being lost generally. So was given many tools. And anyway, I lost my train of thought. What I was talking about was trying to quit smoking. So I would do these fasts, and when I stopped drinking and using drugs, I was maybe 34 and my son was a year old. And I quit smoking then. And then, as I said, 14 years later, started up. So I would do a fast, I would throw them away, I'd flush them down the toilet, I'd tell a friend I was going to quit, I would, everything, but nothing this second time around was working, no amount of willpower. And finally someone said, Rose, try this. It was the CD on how to quit smoking. And the gentleman said, if you really want to quit, then you need to write down, I am a non-smoker. Okay, good, I'll do that. I wrote it down, and I'm sitting with that, and I think he expanded on that and said, you really need to write about how you feel yourself as a non-smoker, what it feels like, really, allow yourself to, what it feels like to embody that. So I'm doing that. I'm writing it down. And suddenly I became aware of this part of me that just said, no way, I am never going to stop. And it was so powerful and so strong. I thought, oh, shoot, I'm never going to quit. And I had ulcerative colitis. Every time I would go outside to take a puff of a cigarette, I'd have a spasm. And to give you an idea of how deeply my heels were dug in, I started looking at what it would be like to have a resection of my colon, because that's what the doctor said. If you keep having these episodes, we may have to do a resection. So as I see myself looking at that, I'm like, okay, I really need to do something about this. And the healing came through allowing myself to witness that part of me that was never going to quit, and witness it from the aspect of the soul awareness. And that's the beauty of it, that if we're, as long as before I was willing to feel how much that was in control in my body, it was like anchored in my core, in the lower 3 chakras, just hunkered down in there. And until I was willing to just feel that and go, wow, I have no intention of quitting, and acknowledge that going on, it was in control. And from the moment I became aware of it, it began to dissolve. I wasn't aware of how it was dissolving right away. It was maybe 2 weeks after that experience of awareness that I quit. And I did an exercise. My teacher had taught me healing through art and movement. So I drew a picture of what that feeling felt like in my body, of what it looked like. And I am not an artist. I don't draw stick people well at all. I drew it, and then I drew it outside of me, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So I drew it on paper, I colored it in. Most important, I felt how much it was locked into my physical form. And then I drew it outside of me, and I X'd it out with golden light. Washed it with golden light, did a lot of Xing out with golden light, and I'm still smoking, for a week after that, 2 weeks. But each time I would light the cigarette, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to quit. I said, wow, that's how much that feeling is in control. And it was that kind of awareness of noticing that aspect, that attitude, that enabled me to say, okay, it was when I was looking for what would happen if I had a resection. And then I knew if I had to have a resection, there would be no one to blame except me, because I wasn't willing to work with this attitude. I am not the attitude. The attitude is an aspect in me. And so through prayer and the healing exercises, 2 weeks later, it was, if that, February 22nd, 2008, happens to be my godfather's birthday, I woke up and said, I'm not having a cigarette today. And then the next day and the next day, and it was easy. It was, yes, emotions surfaced, but it was easeful. And I feel like that's through the quality of soul awareness. And I've done that with many other attitudes and characteristics that I have. Instead of trying to be good on top of them, I will own how much they are a part of me. And from there, the light just naturally heals. So, okay. So we're going to do some yoga stretches, and that's going to just help us become more present in our body. If you can do them, great. And if you can't, then just be where you are and visualize inside. It doesn't matter. Just bring your awareness into the body. So we're going to start with standing up and stretch your hands over your head. Take a deep breath. And while you're stretching your arms overhead, feel your feet. feel how your feet are anchored to the floor. Gently flex your knees and then rotate your right arm forward. Just your right arm, your left arm relaxed by your side. And stretch. Isn't it wonderful to have a body that we can move a little bit? And then your left arm forward. Wonderful. And then gently bring your right arm backwards. And just feel that stretch. Feel your shoulders and your rib cage and clavicle, all the parts that are kind of, blood is going to the surface there. With breath and gratitude, we move. And now your left arm backwards. And keeping your knees slightly flexed. And relax. And then take your hands, clasp your hands together behind your neck and gently pull your head until your chin rests on your chest. And then slowly bend at the waist as far as you can without bending your knees. And then drop your arms and just sway to the left, sway to the right, to the left. Feel how your lower back is getting a nice stretch. Your spine is kind of opening up. And then slowly come up. And then right shoulder forward. A few rotations, if you can. And then your left shoulder forward. Okay. And then your right shoulder backward. And your left shoulder backwards. And now hands on your hips and kind of put your feet a little bit apart. Again, we're flexing our knees and bending just at the waist. We're going to do a nice waist rotation to get some movement in the solar plexus. So our breath can travel all the way down there easily. And breathe and relax. And then go in the opposite direction. Okay. And then a hip rotation. Just sort of press on the back with your thumbs. Let that press into those little knobs at the top of your hips. And rotate so you get a nice movement in the pelvic region. And then the opposite direction. Very nice. Okay. And now just shake it out. You can make any noise you want to make and just shake it out. Shake any tension out. Okay. Nicely done. Okay. And now we'll sit, we'll have a little meditation. Okay. Find a comfortable spot where you can sit with your feet flat on the floor, uncross your arms and legs. And if you have difficulty sitting straight, lie down, just so that you're comfortable and you can have a nice straight spine. Okay. So gently close your eyes. Let your shoulders open back against the chair, against the back of your chair. Take a deep breath. Now, allow your palms to be face up on your lap. However, if you can comfortably do that. And take another deep breath. And just relax. Feel tension leaving your body. And imagine your feet firmly on the ground, that there are these beautiful, strong roots that are growing out of the soles of your feet. In fact, these roots start at the base of your spine and they travel down your legs, through your feet, into beautiful Mother Earth. Envision whatever kind of roots you like, knowing that they are grounding you, holding you securely upon the earth, protected, safe, secure. Having these roots ground us into the earth allows us to feel the heavenly hosts without coming out of our bodies. So imagine just above your head is a beautiful ball of golden liquid light. Maybe it's always present. Comes from a very high divine source. And this golden liquid light begins to descend into the crown. You feel that opening above your head, and it softly cascades down around your head, into your head, saturating the inside of your skull. Your brain matter is becoming drenched in this beautiful liquid golden light. Feel how soothing and graceful and relaxing it is in your body. There's almost a warm sensation as it begins to fall around your head, your shoulders, down your shoulders, into your arms. Feel your muscles as they become colorized with this golden liquid light, relaxing tension, soothing any discomfort you might be feeling. This golden light flows down your spine, into your shoulders, down your back. Feel your muscles, your bones, the organs within your rib cage, your heart, your lungs, the pancreas, your stomach, the liver, all the nerve endings, the blood vessels, your blood. This beautiful golden light is flowing and moving and healing. Feel the peace that comes with this golden light. As now it fills your belly, your whole torso, and the outside of your body. Your skin is soothed in this golden liquid light. Be at peace. Feel how it's opened your throat. It's opened your heart. Your chakras are kind of like coming into this soft balance naturally as this golden, warm, liquid light cascades into the pelvic region, to your thighs, your knees, and down into the calves, and finally to your feet. And sit here and bask in this peaceful glow of golden light. As you quietly breathe, become aware of your own individual soul vibration. The part of you that is you, but has been part of this whole incarnation from the beginning and before that, all the way to now. Often silent and yet there. Notice the soul of you and breathe with it in quiet and in peace. Remaining attuned to your body, become aware of any lingering tension, any lingering pain, and just feel that golden light, soothing, relaxing, filling your body, your heart, and your mind. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes, knowing that as you open your eyes and come into the here and now, your soul awareness is a living, breathing part of you and will guide these next exercises that we're going to do. Okay, and now into the more fun part. So if you came with an intention, a goal, something you have wanted to accomplish and haven't, or something within your being that you feel stuck in. Okay, we'll work with that. Whatever you would like to work with. Get your, if you have some blank paper and pen, and write down in a sentence or a few words, 2 sentences at the most, what is your intention or your goal? Like for me, it was quitting smoking at that time. Or it can be teaching a class, it can be giving a class, it can be taking a class, whatever your desire, your hope, your wish to heal or to work with within yourself. And there's no judgment. We're just all friends here, and whatever comes up is perfect. So it looks like does anybody need a little more time? Okay, so now taking your blank paper and your colored pencils or crayons, draw a picture of what that looks like. A picture of you, a picture of it, whatever, if it's having peace. Draw just allow the pen to guide your hand, and draw an image of what it would look like having your intention or goal manifest as you would like. Does everybody need a little more time? Looks like you need a little more time. Okay, we've got nothing but time. Okay, so now let's take a moment. If you still have some touches, you can, as long as you've gotten the majority and the gist of it, take a moment and acknowledging the soul witness awareness within and around you. Notice if in your beautiful intention of what you would like to have, if there are any feelings or attitudes or thoughts that are contrary to your intention. And in particular, if you do have an awareness of something that might be contrary to that, notice where you feel that in your body. And maybe with a show of hands, you can let me know if anyone had a contrary feeling to their intention, or it just all you, okay, all right, good. I mean, not good, but yes, good. We have something to work with. So take your next blank piece of paper and draw that contrary feeling, noticing where, and I'll give you an example. I had a drawing the other day. I was fog brained. I was trying to figure out what was going on. I wanted to be productive, right, in my life, more productive, and it wasn't happening. So I was like, okay, I'm going to draw since I'm going to teach this. And I got it, and I didn't know what I was going to draw. And I drew this black box and all this scribbly, erratic energy. Well, the black box was the television. And I was obviously watching too much of it. And it was robbing my creativity. But that just came to, that was my contrary here. I want to be productive. I want to be creative. I want to give. And I'm like, dull. Why? And that drawing of that black box and the erratic, that I didn't know that was going to come until I was drawing it. And of course, I knew I was watching television. I mean, I'm not that asleep, but I was allowing it to happen. I was, in it until I drew that drawing and saw, oh my gosh, I'm dead asleep. And just drawing it, I stopped watching television. I mean, I watch a little bit of it now and then, and my dreams at night, I'm dreaming. I'm not dead in my consciousness. So that kind of, just to give you an idea of, spontaneous drawing. And so whatever that contrary feeling, even if it's a scribble, it doesn't matter. It's whatever's happening in you that isn't allowing the flow of your divinity, full expression in your being in the way you would like it. And especially just notice where it might be lodged the most in your body, where you hold that contraction. Does anyone need a few more minutes? Are we good? We're good. Okay. So if you have a little table in front of you, now we can do this. We're going to now draw our drawings with our hands in front of us. You can either do it seated if you're comfortable and you have room, or you can stand up, whatever you're most comfortable with. But put your intention, goal that you would like to manifest, and then the contrary feeling, okay? So it's nice to do this to music, and I'm sorry it wouldn't sound that great playing from my phone. So when you do this at home, you can do it to music and dance, but first of all, in front of you. And remember, there's a lot of golden light in your body, around your body. So we're going to draw that intention, the thing you wish. Draw that picture as though your hands have pencils, and just draw it in front of you. If it has a head, whatever it is, draw whatever image you drew on the paper, draw it in front of you, just like that with your hands. Draw it until you see it in front of you, just like that. And if you want to have privacy, you can just stop your video. And I'll give you a few minutes to draw that image and color it in. If you had colors, color it in until you can see in your mind's eye and in your, you can see it in front of you, that intention, that goal, that shining light that you wish to manifest is there. And when you have that picture drawn, take that contrary feeling that you experienced and draw that superimposed on that goal, that intention. Notice what it does to it. Just draw out that contrary feeling exactly as you had it on the paper. Draw it out, color it in with the colors you had. And if you like, you can write the feeling. If you had a strong feeling with it, write that down until both pictures are fully formed there in front of you. And notice in your body the correlating feeling. There's a feeling for the intention we wish to have. Perhaps it's expansion. Perhaps it's a clear, open throat that wishes to speak. Whatever it is, perhaps it's to be free of smoke, like I was many years ago. And then the contrary, just feel in your body and see it in front of you. Okay. And remember this beautiful golden light of which we are really an extension. And then begin. Now imagine you have swords of light and that contrary feeling, you're just going to exit out and exit out, do an X this way and an X that way. And it's wonderful to play some nice instrumental music with this. But you can do it with your whole body and you just exit out. And you're erasing that contrary feeling. As you're erasing it in front of you, you're healing it in your body, in your aura, in your being. And just heal it until that contrary feeling that you drew in front of you, you actually drew it out of you, is dissolving until there's remnants, just remnants, just remnants. And then quietly bring your hands full of golden light around your head, down your body, all the way to your feet. In gratitude for the sight to see what was hidden. Because once it's revealed, darkness has no power, right? We know that. You can have a closet and be afraid to go into it, and you turn on the light and it's like, oh my gosh, it's not that bad. I can just clean it up in no time. And it's like that with our attitudes. If we don't judge, sometimes spiritual, we think we're supposed to be this way or that way. And And in that state, our egos don't allow us to see what might be hidden and preventing our happiness. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions, or would anyone like to share their experience of what you might have discovered? Okay, so good. No one has questions. That's wonderful. And hopefully you can do this on your own with anything that you might feel impeding you. You know, there's no limit to what we can heal. And we'll wait till everyone comes back that wishes to come back. And
so you asked for sharing, Rose. I don't know if you can hear me, but
yes, yes.
so it was very personal to me. So I don't want to share my intention, but what I drew was like the sunny, happy face shooting off places, right? And so what I saw was it was my stomach was the contrary. So it was a lot of stuff that I do that I know that have kept me from reaching that goal that I've had for years. So I'm just saying thank you. It just opened my eyes for what I want to do for my next step. So I thank you for that. I don't
Thank
think
you.
that makes any sense, but
Yes,
that's
it did. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I believe we still have a little time, Mariana. Is that correct? Okay, so we're complete with this, and I do individual work if anybody would like to do any individual work. One of the things I've created are audio recordings that are designed for your specific need and made like a meditation visualization with your goal, your needs, I did something like that for my niece recently when she was so afraid she couldn't be excited about her wedding, and I made her a relaxation, peaceful meditation. Anyway, so while we have some extra time, no one has any questions. Okay, then would you like to do a little meditation healing the world? And so close your eyes. And first of all, though, thank you so much. I really appreciated being here, and all of your light too. So much light here tonight. It's really a gift to be a part of the Center for World Networking and this beautiful community of souls and bodies. Okay, so we'll gently close our eyes. And in this experience, we're just going to walk gently into the meadow. Imagine yourself firmly planted on the earth and walking peacefully into this beautiful meadow. And as you walk down this path, you're drawn by the warmth of the sun that is just powerfully warming and shining into your being like you've never felt it before. And you just stand there in front of that beautiful sun. Your palms are open, they're by your side, and feel the sun beaming into your heart, filling your heart, filling your arms. Your body is bathed in this warmth, beautiful golden sun. As you feel your heart expanding, your whole torso and solar plexus are filled like a golden sunflower, filling you with so much light that it begins to reflect out. And as it reflects out through your throat, through your third eye, through your heart, through your solar plexus chakra, through all of your chakras, but especially the heart and the solar plexus. And it is beaming out into the world. Notice how far it goes. And we're just going to sit here for a little while and allow the healing light of the divine to move through us and heal the forests, the people, relatives, friends, people in other countries we have not met, until the world is filled with this golden, warm, healing light. And as you're feeling this light fill you and spread out to the earth, notice a person walking toward you in particular that is in need of this healing light, and hold them, bring them into your heart, embrace them with your love, soothe them in the grace that you sit. And then quietly offer them back into the universe and bring your energy back into yourself, feeling healed, whole, and at peace. Okay, and here we are. Thank you again for coming and allowing me the opportunity to share. It's been wonderful to see all of you and be with you. Thank you.